I was down in the valley before love came and grabbed me. Never thought I'd see the sun again. Without no hesitation, you became my resurrection. All the light that came shining in. I got beauty for ashes, and I got joy for mourning, and I got praise for heaviness. Love is a miracle, and I got beauty for ashes, and I got joy for mourning, and I got praise for heaviness. Love is a miracle. This is more than religion. Glad I made my decisions. Hope reversed the curse I was walking in. Cool beans. All right, girl. Hi,
All
you
right. I'm
leadership.
good. How are you tonight?
I'm good. You shifting that leadership, girl, huh?
Yes, I am. I am. I saw your message. I loved it. And I just got it. So I just have to go on there so I can do my I'm that day is gonna sound great. That day. Get away.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I saw that. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Because it's just a time that I just want to serve the leaders and really we need to get we're already focused, but just focus more and come together and pour into you guys. You know what I mean? And have you guys pour into me.
Yeah.
Um
Because you need it too. People forget.
mhm,
People forget.
mhm. Yep. So I'm hoping I know it's gonna be a good time. And I know, God always, like
Yes.
you said the last time, the people who are supposed to be there are gonna be there.
I
Uh
agree 100%.
yeah. So
I really believe that we're at a place in our life where it's not about, oh, I need, or, when you're in that particular awakening or you're in a particular place with God and who you are and the security of who you are, what He has for you and what He has you doing and how and your walk in your relationship, you don't think about the numbers. You think about, okay, God, whoever's here is who's meant to be. It's really
mhm,
the sign of that. It's not like you're just looking for numbers just for popularity. You're doing it because and things happen because it's like it's supposed to happen that way.
mhm,
You know what I mean? And when you start to look at it that way, that's what God was like. That's what I wanted. I didn't want you to focus on the numbers. I want
mhm,
you to focus on the people that you had. Not those who are coming. Because if you're going to pour into what's right in front of you, the more you do it, that right there will get others to come because
mhm,
it'll be word of mouth. It'll be the experience. It'll be the testimony. It'll be the shit. You know what I mean? So that helps bring the forum when you focus on what's there and you really put a focus into them and give them an understanding and let leaders understand or people know that, okay, you're a leader but you're a person. You deal with daily life, you have situations, you need to recharge, you need to regroup, you need to heal, you need
yep,
to sometimes you need to purge, you know what I mean? It all depends. So is when you have that and you recognize that and recognize that leaders are people too.
yep,
Leaders go through things. Leaders carry things. Leaders carry your stuff and they stuff. And then, what I mean?
yes.
Sometimes, and sometimes they carrying their stuff, but they're taking care of your stuff.
That's right. That's right.
So they leaders need that too, a place where they can be taken care of and get that. But at the same time, as you doing that and feeding this to the leaders, like you said, you're being fed as well. So you know what I mean. So
Right.
it's very important when you have it because you're a leader too. So to be amongst other leaders who are real about it, it helps you to grow. But it also like, okay, God, you got me doing the right thing. I'm
Yeah.
on doing it. You know what I mean? So that's definitely a blessing in it for me. I
Yeah.
can't talk about nobody else, but I could tell what it gives to me.
Amen.
Nice refresher, better than the
Yeah.
ones at Starbucks.
And the Starbucks is killing the game.
Listen, people don't understand. People always just think about they think the natural, but spiritually you need stuff.
Yes, you do. Yes, you
Because you
do.
need balance. You need balance.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well,
important.
good. How was your day?
My day was good. It was a busy day. Busy, productive, work and stuff like that, preparing for tomorrow, and it was so crazy because I'm thankful because while I'm there, it really uses me. And this one set of young women, from the ages of 8 to 23 to 36, which
Mhm,
are in the ages of my daughters.
mhm,
And it's so hilarious. Like some of them are going through similar situations that my
mhm,
daughters have been through.
mhm.
And and I'm just like, oh my God, this is my second chance. Like,
Aw.
I know I gave my kids their advice, but there was times where I wish I would have given them better advice. If I was more and I felt like if in a relationship with God better, or if I, just more healed myself, I could have
Mhm,
given them better advice for the situation. So it's like I got these young group of women that I'm working with, and they kind of flock to me in a way, and I get to say that to them. I get to, like, they're similar situations. So now the things that I didn't say before, I say now. I'm
mhm,
saying now, and it's just like, they're really, really listening. I'm like, I'm so thankful to God for that. Another lady, she was crying last night at work, and then she was crying again today at work. And I just took her while she was sitting there. And the second time she cried, I was sitting right there by her, and I just happened to be able to, you know, just put my hand on her shoulder and just like kind of just like, and I patted her.
mhm,
And and she dealing with work, home, and then her own stuff.
mhm,
I can see it now. And I was able to, I said, don't you break. Don't you understand what I'm telling you?
mhm.
Don't you break down like this. I said, you got to stop being so hard on yourself, and you got to recognize it's okay. I said, you got a lot you're dealing with at home and all this stuff. I said, it's very overwhelming. I said, and you're second guessing yourself. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Don't let anxiety and fear take over. So,
That's the truth.
she's sitting there, and then she had a calmness to her, like when I was talking to her, where it was when last night when they was talking to her while she was crying, I didn't really get to say much because it was like, oh, like it was just like, that's not what she need, but I'm gonna step back. And then I got another opportunity. Now I didn't want to see her cry, but I got a second opportunity, to
Mhm.
say something. So I'm just like, you never know where God places us or why.
That's right.
And in those times, sometimes we miss the mark because we're so busy complaining, or we're so busy being caught up in our own stuff. But when you really get to a place and like, okay, God, and you really say, God, however you want to use
Right.
me. Wherever you want me to go, I'll go. And then
Right.
he sends you to places, and he set these forums up for you, and these situations and these people, and you get to allow the light of him to shine through you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it just that kind of stuff, and then it makes me feel good, not because, oh, I did something, but
Right.
it was an opportunity where they get to see God. You know what I'm saying? Or they get to hear a good word, or you get to help somebody in a better way, to help them through their situation. When there was those times when you knew that was you, and you wish, heck, I wish I had somebody here to tell me what's.
Yeah, that's the truth.
I had somebody here that I felt like I could trust enough.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? To share something with, and not be judged, or not be treated badly, or not be down, frowned upon because you don't understand it. But the one lady went through some, not the full situation, but a similarity with my situation of marriage and stuff like that. And I'm listening to all these women, and I'm just like, you know what? In this season of your life, don't be bitter. Be better.
Mhm.
Be
Mhm.
better. Be
Yeah.
better. And the one, she was like, oh my God. She said, and then, she's like, I've been saying it. I said, and it was so crazy. I'm like, you've been saying that? She said, yes. I said, then you don't just say it, do it.
That's right.
For you to say it and we haven't discussed it, and for me to say it to you, and that's my saying. I'll be like, I'm trying to be better, not bitter. I want people to be better, not. And I said to her, and she's like, I've been saying that. And I said, so now you gotta do it. That's just confirms what you need to do. You know what I mean? To be
Right.
to be healed from that stuff. So I'm thankful for the opportunities that every time God gives it, because that makes my day better.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because it's like you don't think about you, and it just makes you
That's
feel good
right.
about
Yeah.
your day. Because it's just like, okay, I'm more than just work.
Mhm. Amen. Say that.
So how about you? Because you look a little tired. How was your?
Uh, you know what? It's been a long week.
Mhm.
Kids, children, they always know how to tax you.
Yeah,
But today was very, very productive. It was a good day. I don't complain. Of course, the job is still the job. You
yeah,
know, they still do the same old. They still expect perfection from the employees when their systems aren't built
Oh, you
for
still have that
perfection.
issue?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is the issue still was going on Monday and Tuesday.
Oh my,
Tuesday afternoon they fixed it, and then Wednesday they put us back to the queue we were at before. Yeah,
I'm
so
so confused. What you supposed to moving forward, not going backwards?
listen, with this company is ever changing is what they always say. But to me, I'm not IT. I always say I stay in my lane, but I know business and I've been working for quite some time.
Yeah.
Certain systems just aren't built for everybody to be doing the same thing at the same time all the time. It'll come crashing down. And what happened today? Half hour before it was time to clock out, the whole system just crashed. Nobody could get in, nobody could do anything. So now that's a half hour of unproductive time that you were trying to save that
And
didn't
once
get
again, it happened on, basically, this is your Friday.
on my Friday. But this time I was in a different frame of mind because
Okay.
I already knew what was up. I already
Yes.
knew
Because it
that
didn't happen. It didn't happen. It happened last week, and it
right,
was still fixed Monday and Tuesday.
right.
You was
So
like for
I
a minute,
prepared.
you know, you want to cool your jets. Don't celebrate checks.
Right. Right. And I just went on along with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, of course you have to let it out. You have to express yourself because if you can't express yourself, express how you're feeling, even as an employee, then you're not in the right spot. Because I should be able to vocalize how I'm feeling and no one take it personal because it's business, right?
Yep.
But I prepared myself. I was mentally prepared. So today I was like, hey, I just got a free half hour. Thanks for that back. You know what I mean? Type of thing. And kept it moving because you're not going to ruin my day. But then
Yeah.
also I'm in a different mind space. I had to really let some things go. The devil really likes to try to tap dance on my mind around that time when I call it when my aunt from Red Bank decides to visit. That's when he really decides to tap dance on my mind even the more because I'm already, you're
Emotional.
low, emotional,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I just had to come to a place where I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna dive even more into God. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
gonna go, okay, God. He gave me Ephesians.
No, I know what you mean. I'm telling you
Gave
because it's
me
your
Ephesians.
hormones. You be
Yes.
it's like you're hormonal, then you're emotional, and then you be having all kinds of thoughts, and you're like, wait a minute, nope.
Yeah.
Let me fix this because this
Let me
right
fix it.
here,
Not
not
doing
today,
it.
devil. You're not gonna mess
Yeah.
with my mindset. But when you like that, it does. So it's like that's when your battle's even stronger because you at that place.
Of
I
course.
totally understand. I tell you,
Yeah.
oh my God, that's so funny. That's
Yeah. So
so
he gave me
crazy.
he gave me Ephesians, the full armor of God,
Yeah.
and he was like, "All right, I want you to post each day, just post a portion of this, that chunk
Good
of
for you.
scripture, each armor." So I did it, and then I was like, "Okay, God, what is coming out of this?" So he's like, "Now I want you to take each armor and I want you to break it down, and not for anybody else, but for myself. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
absolutely.
So that I understand and I'm
Understand
sharp."
it's you.
Yes, myself, but at the same time, he wants me to share. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. And I know that the attacks are going to come because they already started coming. And I know the conversations that he's allowing me to hear and different things. But you know what it's teaching me is to keep this moving, keep being vocal, keep vocalizing it. Don't hold, I'm not holding anything in any
Yeah, more.
longer.
That's what's up. That's
I'm
right.
not doing it any longer. I'm not going to hold your baggage. I'm not going to hold your weird energy. I'm not going to hold your weird expectations and all this other stuff. I'm not holding it no more. I'm letting it go
Good for you.
immediately.
That's right.
Soon as I realize it's not mine, I'm letting that stuff go. So I'm not holding
Hmm.
nobody else's stuff because you want to know what? You're not holding mine.
Yeah.
So why should I continue to carry your baggage? And you're not even holding your own. Why should I continue to carry your baggage, my baggage, lug it around, pray to, you know what I mean? Of course I'm gonna pray. Don't get it twisted. I'm always gonna pray for you because I love people. You know what I mean? I love God's people. I
Yeah.
love the God in people. So I'm always gonna pray for you. But I'm not gonna hold your baggage.
Yeah.
and I'm not going to hold your expectations, and I'm not going to allow your thoughts to creep into mine and try to put doubt and fear and any type of weird energy. That's what I'm calling it right now. Any type of weird energy you have, I'm not allowing it in my space.
That's right.
Because I'm my own worst critic. You understand? And that's where God has really, I've gotten to the point in my life and I'm at a certain age where I realize I can beat myself down better than you can.
Yeah. And you can also lift yourself up better
And I
than
can
somebody else.
also lift myself up better than anybody else can. But
Yes.
that doesn't mean that I don't need the support of other people. That doesn't
Yes.
mean that I don't need you to help lifting me up, because I do.
Yeah.
Encouragement need encouragement. We all need it.
But
But at the same
girl, you
time,
encourage yourself enough to be like, girl, let me
yeah,
just hit this button right here. Click.
click,
Girl, I've been encouraging myself, but I'm gonna need you to join on this bandwagon right along with
that's
me.
right.
Tap in.
Right.
Like, you
Because
know
if
what I
I
mean?
don't, and I shouldn't have to ask you. I
Yeah.
shouldn't have to ask you to join on. I shouldn't have, because if you're supposed to be in my circle at this time, if you're supposed to be connected to me at this time, I don't have to ask you.
Yeah.
You would just feel it and do it
Yeah. That's
and
true.
understand and understand
Yeah.
and understand and be honest at the same time as well too of, hey, we all fall short. You understand?
Absolutely.
We all fall short. But what we gonna do here? How can I help you?
Yes. What can I
I'm
do
reaching
for
out because I felt something and you were honest enough. So now how can I help you?
you? Yeah. Sometimes you just, you know, you're there to be of assistance.
Yep.
You know, sometimes, you know, sometimes your assistance is just to listen.
That's it.
Don't do nothing else. Just let you say, don't pass no judgment, don't say nothing, don't give no advice, don't talk about you. Sometimes you're there just to listen.
That's
That's the
it.
assistance. And then after you get it all out, you know, you're like, whew, I feel better now.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Much better.
And that's what you need, because sometimes we need to vomit sometimes. Sometimes we just
Yeah.
need to get it out and not feel bad about what we're vomiting. We just need to get it out. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's just like, you know, and it's healthy for you because you get out the toxins that don't belong in. It's just like doing a detox. You know what I'm saying?
Detox. Yes.
I'm detoxing. I'm getting out of me what does not belong, and
Mhm.
that's what's necessary. It's important. It's very important to do it spiritually. You know, everybody do it. Everybody want to get on these cleanses and they want to do the intermittent fasting. Well, you know, hey, who started the intermittent fasting? Let's be real about that, right?
Right. That's right.
That's what
That's
God been
right.
telling us to do that for a minute because He knew we
For a
needed.
minute.
He
Yeah.
you know, so it's something that's necessary in our life. It's not to punish us. It's to help us to get cleansed. It's to help us
That's
to
right.
be healed. It's to help us to get closer, to get balanced. You understand that? And you know, and spiritually, sometimes you it's necessary. You need a
Yeah.
spiritual detox. So you know it's important. And as you do it, and you know, the more you do it, the better you feel.
Amen.
Then you get your strength back. You know
Amen.
what I mean? And then you get back in the race and you swing it again. You
That's
know, but
right.
sometimes you need that. You know, we forget because we hold so much in. And then it's
Yeah.
just like, you know, and then when you don't have, you might, you know, have a couple of people, but when you don't have, or sometimes you think you by yourself
Oh yeah.
and
Oh
you're
yeah.
not really by yourself because you have a habit, as I used to have a habit of, like, I would suffer in silence.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say nothing. You know what I mean? I'll just go get in my little boat and then paddle myself to my little island. And then when I wanted to see people again, I came back. You know what I mean? But you know, it's just like now you at a place where I don't suffer in silence. And when you do have those connections, there's people praying for you and you don't even know they're praying.
That's what I'm saying right
But that
there.
connection right there, it's like you be walking in another room, like, oh, I just felt something fall off me. Somebody was praying for me. Thank you, Lord.
That's what I'm saying right
Sometimes, you
there.
know, so sometimes it's that spiritual connection. God will just drop you in somebody's spirit and they just go at it. They don't call you, they don't text you or nothing. But they
Right.
know something, they know, because this is when you truly trust in God and you really have the connection, you will do that for somebody else.
That's
You don't care about complaining about, oh God, you wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You just gonna get up.
right.
You're gonna get up and do it, and God's so good, you can get up and do it and go right back to sleep and don't
Go
miss
right back.
miss a wink.
Listen. Listen. I know times like that where like, God, oh, okay, in the name of you know, you keep going, and the next day, you know, you up in the morning like, oh, I feel good. Thank you,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
sometimes when I have like a moment when it seems like I'm wrestling, I got a lot going on, and I'm starting to feel overwhelmed. That's how I sleep. I'll put my gospel music on, and I'll have a peaceful rest. Don't you know what I'm saying? Between thunderstorms and like it could be like a crazy rainstorm. Anytime I could sleep through that, and it's the same way I sleep peacefully. But that's how I sleep when I got my gospel music on. If I got the word on, I have a peaceful rest. You know what I mean? And it's good because it's like the word, my spirit's being fed. I'm being rejuvenated while I'm sleeping.
That's
You know what
right.
I mean? And it's poured into me. And it's
Born
just
into
like,
you.
and
Yeah.
it's just like I really trust God in that way. I think, and that's why I say I think I can sleep so good through a storm because God said, what did Jesus do down on the boat? That's what
About
we're
to
supposed
say
to
he
do. We're
slept.
supposed to
I
sleep
was
in the
about to say.
storm. Act
He
like
slept.
ain't nothing wrong. Peace. Be
Yeah.
still. Like, I ain't don't
Yeah.
mess with my sleep. Like, and I'm the person, if I'm sleep, don't mess with my sleep.
That's right.
And God wants you to know you don't want to let nothing disturb your peace, not even
Yes.
the storm. Don't let it disturb your peace. So when it rains, people like, oh my God, did you hear that wind in that rain? I'm like, what wind? What rain? You ain't hear that nothing like that. I'm like, I ain't hear nothing. Like, and that's how but that's how God wants us to be, spiritually and in life. When those things happen, those storms come, or you feel those little things trying to overwhelm you, you know what I mean? Go to sleep. Get your rest.
Yeah.
Rest in him and let him rest, let him pour in you while you sleeping. It's just like, and that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's when you like, yeah, I don't gotta carry this, you know what I mean? And because God has equipped you so you don't have to carry stuff. He's a burden bearer.
Hmm. Yep.
You don't gotta
Why would I?
carry, you don't gotta
Why
be
would
weighted
I carry
down.
it?
You don't gotta be
That's
weighted down. You don't have
then
to, you
he
don't
can
have to be
carry it better than I
spiritually
can.
obese.
Spiritually obese, Jesus. Yeah, because we're trying to hold everybody's stuff.
Yep.
We trying to be the savior. We
Yeah.
talked about it last week. Don't
Yeah.
try to be the savior. God got it handled. He
Yeah.
can do it. He can fix it. But you know what needs to be fixed? We need to fix ourselves. We need to work on ourselves. We need to
Yes.
sharpen our tools. We need to make sure that we're holding ourselves accountable. We need to
Mhm.
make sure that we are putting in the work. God will do the rest.
That's it.
God will do the rest.
That's very true. Very, very true. I agree 100%. I just feel like when you, I'm not, when you talk about God and you serving God and you doing His work and you doing His will, and you don't have to. I'm not saying that we don't have to have a thrive in us. Absolutely have a thrive, but we don't have to try so hard.
Yeah,
It just comes
that's right.
naturally. You know what I mean? And then, and the more natural that you allow it to be, the easier it becomes because it's just like I'm putting the work in, but it's so much easier because I'm so much more in tune with God. It's easy for me to deliver a word to you now because I'm so in tune with God and I'm so in tune with Him that I'm so obedient to what He says. Like before, where I used to second guess, and now God says, "Say such and such." Okay, wow, God said, or you said it's like it's because the more and because it's becoming more and more and more relationship. So you're thriving more in your spiritual life. So because you're thriving more in your spiritual life, it helps you to thrive in your natural life because
That's right.
you're being more obedient. You're more in tune with God. You're doing what He's saying. You know what I'm saying? You about to make an investment. God, like, don't do that.
That's right.
I can't do this. You know what I mean?
Right.
But before you would do it and you would lose stuff, be stressed out, going through it.
Yeah.
The more in tune you are with His voice and you're listening more, you become more obedient. And there's things you just know. Listen, I got to go to God for everything. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to like, what I'm saying? I got to seek Him. I got to make sure, but before you like, I'm just going to do it. Or you like, that's what, well, I think you said it. No, you want Him to have said it because it's what you want to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? So then when you do it, you're like, God, why you let me do it? I didn't let you do it. I
Right. You
told you
do it
not to
on
do it,
your
but you
own.
wasn't listening to
Yeah.
me because your voice was overpowering my voice.
That's right. That's
Your
right.
will was overpowering me. So therefore, you did what you wanted to do. So you got to learn a lesson from it and
That's
come
right.
back from it. Now He's just trying to show us like it could be so simple if you just stay in tune with me.
Yes, it could all be so simple.
Yes,
Yes.
and don't. I mean, there's still a
But you
process. We
rather
still
make
go
it
through
hard.
tribulations, but at the end of the day, you'll go through the tribulation easier with Him because He's guiding, He's talking. You're letting it go. You're not carrying it. You're not carrying extra weight. You're not carrying your stuff, their stuff. You're not carrying everybody else's cross, thinking you're supposed to. You're
That's
not
right.
thinking you the savior. Like, wait a minute. I ain't turning water into wine.
Nope.
I didn't know. I didn't do that. No.
Nope.
I didn't raise up in 3 days. Yeah, I've been persecuted. I've been hit on, but I'm nothing like that. So
Right.
I'm not God.
Right. Right.
So I gotta let God be God. I gotta let God do what he's supposed to do. I gotta allow him to do what he needs to do in my life. And that means if I means letting things go and taking and stripping myself bare, then that's what I have to do in order for me to have peace of mind, peace in your heart, peace in your spirit. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what's so necessary that, and that's a couple of weeks ago, I was stressed out. Remember,
Yeah.
I didn't know I was stressed out.
Yeah.
Now it's like I knew, but I didn't admit it.
Right.
So my
Fair.
body told on me.
Yeah.
Girl, you stressed. That's what my body said. You don't want to admit it? I'm gonna show you. Girl, you
And
stressed.
won't do it.
Look at you.
Won't
Look at
do
you,
it.
girl. You're carrying something to you, and you're not admitting it. So
Not
when I got to that place and it happened, I couldn't do nothing but just I was in here. I told you I was in here praying. I was worshiping. I was giving it over to God because my mental, like you know what I mean, and it affected my body. So it was just like the stress will come out of you in all different types of ways, and that's what I did. I heard, wait, let me get this to God. I didn't even realize I was carrying it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But the more so I'm just like, okay, my body told me, but if I was better in tune with God, I would have really paid attention and I would have did it before my body even got to that place of having an outbreak.
Boom. Boom.
And that's it right there.
If we didn't let the choices we made and the cares in the world and all that other stuff to desensitize it, to dull it,
Yes.
you would have heard it. You would have heard what
Exactly.
tools you used to fight it instead of us taking it in our own power
Yes.
and trying to figure it out and trying
Yeah.
to make it happen.
Yeah,
And be
exactly.
overwhelmed and stressed and can't be effective and wondering why, and our bodies are telling on us, and then
Yeah.
we got to go through the motions of detoxing and asking God to remove some things and all this other stuff and to help, and now we back right, but we got to remember not to get to that point again, or to
Absolutely.
listen to the cues. We
Yes.
got we gotta we gotta be able to hear his voice, and it gets the world gets so loud. You know what I mean? Because we're so busy. I think about my own life. With two children and working and all this other stuff. Sometimes I'm like, dang, Terry, you're just doing too much. But
Yeah.
then at the same time, I feel like I'm not doing enough. So it's like, okay, I don't want to overwork myself. And then I also don't want to just sit around and do nothing. So God, help me find balance. Help me be exactly what you're looking for me to be. Help me to be able to hear you through the noise,
Absolutely.
and help me not to allow the noise to get so loud that I'm not even hearing you.
That's the truth. That is very, very true. And I think sometimes that's why the chaos is created the way it's created, so you don't
Mhm.
hear, you know what I'm saying? So you can't hear nothing. But then it's just like, okay, where I'm like now I got to a point where I started getting to a place where wait a minute, Lord, if I hear your still small voice in chaos, I'm gonna connect to that because I'm so used to noise. When I hear your voice, I'm gonna be still.
Yes.
Because I'm like, what's that? Did
What's
y'all
that?
hear that? Was
Right.
that was it just me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's why he makes sure his voice is, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? When all that's going on, because he wants you to recognize something different.
Yeah.
Because if he came at you boisterous, you might not hear it because it's just loud as everything else. So he
Right.
got to come at you like you got to hear like a whisper, like you be like, okay, Holy Spirit, that's how you doing it. Okay, but it gets you to that place because you recognize something different
That's
in
right.
the midst of the chaos, and
That's
in that
right.
doing that, that gets you to focus on God.
That's right.
Because he has to get us. Sometimes he got to get our attention. Chaos on chaos just makes us want to scurry away. It makes us
Yeah.
want to hide. It makes us want to run and go
Mhm.
and be separate by ourselves. So God was like, no, no, no. Let me come in a different way because I need her to run to me and not from me.
Yes. Yes. And I'm thankful that he comes in a different way, because let me tell
Yeah,
you, sis, this time around, I'm like, nope, I'm giving it to God.
that's
I'm
right.
stronger. I'm
Mm-hmm.
wiser.
Mm-hmm.
I'm better. So
So much
much
better.
better. So much better. And I'm telling you, it,
Yes,
it ain't it ain't breaking.
that's
You
right.
understand? It ain't breaking. And I love it. I love it here. It's a good place.
Isn't it nice? It's so lovely. It's so lovely. And sometimes I'll be sitting, I'll be mad at myself, like, girl, why you wait so long?
Yeah.
Why? And then I'm
Yeah.
like, it was necessary though. It's nice that I know it's frustrating because you'd be like, dang, I could have been here. But
I
at the
know,
same
right?
time, I had to, if I didn't go through it the way I went through it, I wouldn't appreciate it
There it is.
as much as I do now.
You
Like
wouldn't
I
be as
appreciate
humble.
this place I am in God.
Yes.
I appreciate this place that God is in me. Like I appreciate it so much because I have so much to compare it to. Like to
Yes.
what I didn't have and what I went through and what it was when I was disconnected or I was running away or I was afraid or I was anxious or suicidal, all those different types of things that I was. But to be in a place of being freed and healed and and he's doing work in me daily, like I'm like, oh my God, like I appreciate this place.
Yes.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
the place I want to be because I never want to go back to that place. You know what I'm saying?
True.
I don't never want to be lukewarm again. I don't know because the fire is great. It's like, you know what I mean? Like people always thought that fire was bad, but not Holy Ghost fire. This is type different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a good burn.
That's right.
It's a great burn. And it's like, and I love it. I'm just like, oh my God, I appreciate this so much. And it's just like, and I get excited for what's to come. Cause I'm like, I know this ain't it. Like, I know there's more to come. So it's like, I'm excited to those things. And even I'm just like, I don't know what it's going to be, God, but I know you're going to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm excited and I'm okay. I'm not afraid because I know you're going to be there. I'm not worried, God, because I know you're going to be there. You know what I mean? Before where it was like, I used to be afraid and I couldn't trust, like, God, I trust you. And I know that with you being there, it's going to be all right. You know what I mean? So, and it's just like, I appreciate this place and I respect this place. I love this place. And it's just like, I celebrate this place. And it's just like, because it's an awesome thing to know myself from there to here. And it's just like, oh my God, like, oh my goodness. Like I was looking at a video. My daughter was watching a video from years ago. My youngest two were like young, and was it the youngest two? And we had slumber party and everything like that. And I seen myself in there. And I was like, oh my God, I just look miserable. This video, I looked miserable. And then I kept hearing myself talk. And I now was agitated by the woman on the video. She was getting on my nerves. I was just like, oh my God, shut up. Like, all you're doing is complaining. What is wrong with you? I was like, do you get on them kids' nerves? Be quiet. Like, she could hear me. And then afterwards, I was just like, God, I wish I could go back and just hug her. Like, she's so broken. Like, just like so that, and it was just like, but it was me. Like, I know it was me, and it was just a totally different me. And but I was so agitated by the old me. And it was just like, I was agitated. I was sad. It was just like, I felt so bad. And I wanted to go back to give me a hug. Like, if I could do like back in the future, it's just like, it's going to be all right. Like, it's okay. Let it go. Let it out.
But you know what? Sometimes that's all people need. And the best part about what you just said is that it agitated you. So now when you see it in other people, you're like, man, if you only knew. But you know what? Let me help you know.
Yes, exactly.
Because I know where I've been. I know the feeling. I know what you're going through. I know how it feels. Let me help you.
And
Let me give you a hug.
So empathetic. Like, when people like, you don't, until you walk a mile in my shoes, you'll never understand. Sis, I understand.
So listen.
I wore them shoes with some shoes. I wore them socks till there was holes in them socks. Like I wore that. I know it is. I walked in it. And it's just like, you know what I mean? I stood in it. You know what I'm saying? There was times where I was sinking in it. Like, you don't understand. So it's just like, I can't help but want you to be free from that, because I was so agitated, because I knew you were so that my old self was just so frustrated, but I could not word, or I never said anything. I was just suffering. You know what I'm saying? So I saw the misery.
Silence.
It was just so sad to see. But I'm so thankful for the healing. I'm so thankful for his deliverance. I'm so thankful that that he had broke me down to build me up. Like, I'm just so thankful for that. Like, and it's an amazing thing. So it's really important to to get freed up, but it's also very important to never go back to that place.
That's right. That's
That's why
right.
that's why it's important for, like, you get to those places, like I said, where you get to share, you get to build and something.
Yeah.
We building each other up as leaders and as a people, as a body, because it's so necessary. It's so
Mhm.
needed when you go through what you go through in your life.
Mhm.
It's so crazy when you go through what you go through in your life, and it's just like you be like, oh man, and but you recognize and realize, God, I don't ever want to go back to that place. So I'm thankful that you have these type of things.
That's
No,
what's
it's like you be thinking like, oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. No, invest in your healing,
Mhm.
invest in your peace. Take that time, take that getaway, take that stolen moment, take that 45-minute walk, take that hour drive, but do something to regroup and get yourself back. Take that walk and go breathe in and out. It's some fresh air, like,
Fresh air.
for
Yes.
yourself. You know what I mean? Take that time to take a seclusion, even if it's a day. Take a day.
Right.
Take a mental health day. Take a spiritual day.
Because
A spiritual health day. You need a spiritual health day.
mine's coming on Monday, girl. I already said it. I'm taking Monday. Especially after this week. I said, "Oh,
Yes,
I'm taking my day on Monday." Because
yes,
I and not just because of work, but I just need it for myself.
yes. Yep.
You know, I need it for myself. And I even my daughter, I think it was either Monday or Tuesday, she was like, "Mom, can I stay home?" And I was like, "Nope, you got to get to school." Because, on Mondays they give you all the work and all that other
Yeah.
stuff. And then just so happened Wednesday, God always does it. Like you said, my body told on me.
Uh-huh.
I woke up late. And I woke up and I was like, I looked at the time. Now we could have made it, but it would have been
A
a
rush.
so yes, a
A
not so great.
rush.
So I looked, I said, Psh, yeah, she going back to sleep.
Mm,
And thank God because it was a good day for her to reset. She needed that reset day
yeah.
so that she can go. But I'm taking my day on Monday. I'm resting.
Yeah.
I'm
Sometimes
resting.
you need to.
It's needed.
Sometimes you need to.
Yeah,
And
it's needed.
people don't understand that. And then there's people who think they feel guilty because they're lazy doing nothing. Sometimes you just need a day. Don't
Right.
do nothing. Don't stay home to clean the house. No.
That's right. That's
And
right.
if cleaning is what relaxes you, then you could do. It all depends if you got that cleaning with you got your gospel music on, you cleaning, you praising and washing, you praising and sweeping, you praising. However, but you're getting what you need because those two things make you feel good together. So you can do that. But I'm
Right.
just saying, like, take that day for you to be a day where it's you. If and it's just like, oh, and then afterwards you see your house is clean, it smells good, and then you like, whoo, like, I feel clean in the
Yeah,
spirit
so
because, like,
good.
I was cleaning, I was crying, I was cleaning, I was praising, like I was, what I'm saying, I was cleaning spiritually, and I was cleaning the surface of my. So it's like, or deep cleaning. So it's just like, if they go hand in hand for you, then fine, so be it. If your day is just relaxing and soaking in the tub, then let
Yep,
that be your day. But never feel guilty about taking a day for self.
that's
Never
right.
feel guilty thinking that you should be doing all these other things, but this one thing you need, because if you don't do this thing, you're gonna break down.
Right. Could you say that the woman that you saw in the video, which you was you,
Mhm.
I'm just saying, but we're gonna call her the woman that you saw in the video. Could you say that she definitely needed some just mental rest some days?
She needed some rest. Girl, she needed a hug. She
Yeah.
needed somebody just to let her cry. Like, you know what I mean? She needed somebody to see her. And I
Mm,
just thought she wasn't being seen. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like you could tell she could tell it she was angry, but she wasn't angry. She was angry, but you could tell that like the way people thought she was angry, or who she thought she was angry with, she wasn't. That's not who she was angry with. She was
right,
angry with herself.
right.
Like, you can see the anger, you can see the disappointment, you can see the hurt, you can see it all. It's just a ball of emotions. And I was just like, oh, child, baby, stop talking, because
Mm,
you're saying all the wrong things. You're
mm,
murmuring and complaining, or you're nagging everybody else. But what you really want to do is get out what you need to say because you're so aggravated. Let it out. But she's saying all the wrong things and nothing to say for herself to be free. Nothing that she could say, you know what I mean? So it was sad. It was sad to see. And I just like, it's just like, wow. And then when I was looking, I was like, God, that was me. And you know what I mean? It's just like, and it was just a sad thing. Like, even and I see other stuff where I was smiling. The smile was never genuine.
mm,
It was a smile just to hide,
right.
everything. So it was just like the difference. I can see the difference from that smile to the one I have now.
Yeah.
totally different. Like this is a big, bright, true, genuine, yes, like yes. Well, the other one was like, hey, I'm here. Like, you know what I mean? Like type of smile. And it's sad. It was just like they were just existing but not living.
The other one was your mask.
Yes, girl. Yes. It was a
The
mask.
other
Every
one,
time I had on three, I had a mask on top of a mask on top of a mask.
Jesus.
That's how good I was able to do it. I knew how to, I told you I could hide in plain sight.
Yeah.
Because and that's what I knew how to do. I mastered that.
Mm.
So to come up out of that, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot of unmasking that had to take place. So it's just like when one thing was revealed, it's just like, okay, I'm like, okay, you know that one thing, but you don't know these six other people. Like you don't know, you still don't know the real me because these six other ones that's covering it, you know what I'm saying? So every time you think that this is the real me, it's not. It's like you watch Scooby-Doo, they would take the mask off and they'd be like, oh, we such and such, they would take off another mask because sometimes it wasn't just the one, it wasn't the real one. Sometimes it'd be two under there to get the person. So,
I told you it was. No, that wasn't him. Yeah. Yeah.
It really was this person. No, it really was this person. You'd be like, oh my God.
Yes.
Who was it?
Who was
you know
it?
what I mean?
Yes.
So it was like, and it was just like, wearing those masks was like who I was for that particular day or for that particular moment or for that particular crowd of people that I was around. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I had a lot of different masks for a lot of different reasons and a lot of different people. And I just like, I had a part of me that was still genuine. Part of me that was genuine was that I just had a loving heart. Part of me was the genuine part that I always cared for people. So I always wanted the best for them and wanted to help them in their well-being. But in doing that, I was never taking care of my own well-being.
Right.
So you know what I mean? So and I took that on, but it was easy for me to deal with everybody else's stuff because I ain't want to deal with my own. I ain't want to have to deal with self.
That's right.
The reason why. That's another how I mastered. I helped everybody, so I didn't have to help me.
That's right.
I didn't let God help me.
Yeah.
So that's what that's what it was. And that was so to see it, it was just like, oh man, I just want to go back and hug her. Like, that's how I felt. But at the same time, I was just like, just listen, because I was listening to, I was like, oh, do this. Why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing that? And I was being so controlling. Like, like controlling, like I'm not letting them have fun with their game. I'm telling them how they should be doing it. Like controlling everything, not realizing I was really ruining the fun.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they were still, they didn't really say much, but you could tell, you could see the unhappiness in their faces. But even though they were smiling, they was looking, they wasn't as happy as they could have been.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was just like, and I was causing that because of my own stuff. So you know what I mean? It's just like sometimes you gotta let go of the reins because it doesn't just affect you, it does affect the other people around you and connected to you. And stuff like that. So you have to be mindful of that, and you really got to think about that. So when you get healed and freed up, it's not just for you. It's for people around you. It's for your children. It's for your family. It's for yourself. It's for your, it's for, your spouse, if you're married or whoever you're in a relationship with, all your different types of relationships. It's not just for you. It's for those people that you're around. It's also for the people that's in your life that's taking advantage of you. When you finally get freed up, you know what I'm saying, and you wake up, then you can open up your mouth because you finally get a voice and be like, no.
I know that's right, girl.
No, I'm not doing that. No, you can't use that. No, I can't give you that. No, I already am stretched thin enough. I'm not allowing you to stretch me anymore. No, I'm not going to put your time into my time and then press my time back and be more concerned about your time. No. So it's just like when you open up your mouth, it becomes something different. And that's what it was. So I appreciate this place. I appreciate this place and who I am in God and what God is in me, because that was something different. And to see it, like sometimes I wonder if people really go back to look at their old pictures or their old videos, really watch themselves and like look at themselves and study this. Like, wow.
I do.
Especially with your eyes open now, spiritually, you'd be like, God, you brought me somewhere. You brought me from someplace, boy, because God knows.
It's like my reminder. Like I see pictures of myself when I was in the lesbian lifestyle, and I was like, man, you were just sad. You were sad.
Yeah.
I was thin. I was, I mean, I'm a thin person in general, but I was thin. Like, yeah, I was like, wow, and I said to myself, you need a hug. Like you needed someone just to tell you that they love you.
Yes.
And really mean it and not look for anything in return. I
That's
needed
it.
so much. Like there's a picture that I posted of me and my uncle who passed away. Um, loved him dearly. I mean, when they say the good die young, the good die young. But I put that picture up because it was the hug I needed.
Mm,
It's a picture of me and him hugging. It
mm,
was the hug I needed. And after his death, it really was one of the many catalysts that caused me to just like change my life. But
mm.
it was the hug I needed that I had been looking for so long. It was a genuine, I don't care what you are in and what you are doing right now. I love you hug. And I felt that hug. You understand? Because I lived a life where for a very long period of time, drugs, you know what I mean? All types of stuff. And
Yeah,
it was just, it was a very sad time. It was a very, very sad time. Even though I felt like I was so free, it was just so sad. But I never really truly felt like I was loved. I was around a whole bunch of people that bigged up me, wanted to be around me, hang, we partied, we did whatever, clubbed, all this other stuff. But I never really felt loved. Never really felt that inside love. I didn't love myself.
yeah, that's it. That's the truth. So true. So,
And
so
then
true.
once I found that love, yeah. I that's why I said this place is a beautiful place to be in because there's
Absolutely.
nothing anyone can say or do that will ever tear me down because I love myself too much.
I agree.
Love
I
myself
agree.
too much to allow you to allow you to do anything to me that is not supposed to be done.
That's,
And that's not physical. You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be physical. That's mental, that's emotional, that's spiritually, because abuse comes in many forms, and I'm not using that
that's,
word lightly at all. It comes in many forms. Manipulation comes in many forms, all that other stuff. But I'm going to make sure that I go to God and ask him what it is that he wants me to do
yeah.
before I just commit to anything
That's
from here on out.
that's right. That's right. And it's the best decision of your life when you do it in that particular way because you know God is not going to lead you astray. You know
Because
when
he hasn't. Because he hasn't. And he
no,
just, I don't mean to cut you off, but I literally went through this whole conversation with God where, God, you're so good. You've never let me down.
yeah,
You've never let me down. I may feel like I'm down, but if I really pay attention, you've never let me down.
absolutely. That's right. That's right. You
Never.
know he only has your best interest at heart. You know he only wants the best for you. You know he only wants to lead you to a destiny of what he has prepared for you. You know he only wants you to thrive in the purpose that he has created for your life. And it's just like, so it's just like we have to get to that place. And like, God, I can't not listen to you. I cannot follow you. Look what you've done for me. Look how
Right.
you look from where I was to where I am. You know what I mean? You make sure I'm in a better place. Then you make sure that I don't go back to that place. So you create things where I can go. Or you have people who create things where I can go and get liberated, or I can go get refreshed, or I can go get rejuvenated, or I can go be reminded that I'm not perfect, or I
That's
get reminded like you're not the only one. Like what I'm saying, you're a leader, but you're a person. You're this, but you're a human. You know what I mean?
right.
You do feel things. You do go through different things, and you have a safe haven. You have a place where you can go and you can get what you need to be replenished. So when you come back, or however it is I use you to pour into the people, you're good to do that. But at
No.
the same time, you recognize, you know what I mean? You recognize, okay, God, I'm more alert. Before I even used to be alert, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
alert now. Before I used to be in denial, but I
Say,
trust you. You know what I
say
mean?
it.
I'm not denying nothing anymore. Before I used to lie to myself. I can't lie to myself no more, and I sure enough can't lie to you.
That's right.
Ain't that crazy? But I used to. Like, how you gonna lie to God? He know everything.
That's right. Because it was easy. It's easy to lie.
Yeah, yeah. But
It's
you know what?
easy.
But it hurts. It hurts
Oh,
to lie. It's not. It's too much work.
yeah.
It's too
Yeah.
much work. And not only when I was lying to God, but most importantly, I was lying to myself. You know what I mean? And it's just like and recognize and realize some things and trying to hold on to things that wasn't meant to be held on to. You just know that God is not going to lead you astray. When he separates you from certain things and certain people, it's because it's necessary and it's
Oh,
important for your life. You know what I mean? It's not about oh, you know, you don't want to have no friends, you don't have nobody. No, I do want you. I want you to have the right people in your life that belong in your life. Or I don't want you to get too attached to something that was just for a moment of time. I
Right.
don't want you to get caught up in this situation because it's only for a season. I don't want you
Right.
to do this because I only have you connected for this particular reason. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is why, so I have to separate it because it's too much. I don't want you to get too caught up because then it's going to be damaging. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like then you're going to be so focused on this, you're not going to focus on that. I
Focus
don't want
on.
that for you. So I have to sever ties. I have to break relationships. I have to open your eyes and awaken you to some things, some reality, some things. And then you like, okay, God, you only doing what's best for me.
Mm-hmm.
You only want what's best for me. You only lining me up with the right people that I need to be. That's necessary for this part of, for this purpose of my life, this purpose and time of my life, or to lead me to my destiny,
Yeah.
to help me to get to that place. You know what I mean? Or but me being a part of them and them being a part of me is for the working toward the destiny of what you have for us, not for us, not for somebody who's not going to work with that or help build that up or be encouragement or to to be enthusiastic or be that. No, he doesn't want, so he has to separate us sometimes, or we have
Yeah.
to recognize and realize every relationship can't go where you're going, or every connection wasn't meant to be a relationship.
That's right.
So
That's right.
so sometimes people like, okay, you don't want to cut it, I'm gonna cut it.
Yep. Quick.
Not to hurt you, but to help you thrive, to help you move forward, to help you learn, to help you understand, to help you see, you know what I mean? And to help you grow, to help you heal. And that's what it all goes down to. Everything that God does for us is not to hinder us, but it's to help us.
Yeah. I
Everything
like that.
that's the thing about it.
I like that song that we put on the last one. Kirk Franklin. I love Kirk Franklin.
Uh,
Halls and all, girl. Um, just for me. You know what I mean? He's
that's
like,
that right there.
how is this called love? You know,
Yes, yes, yes,
even when I'm hurting, yet I see
yes.
it's working just for me. It's like you call this love, God, but I kind of understand why it is love, the discipline, the chastisement. You know what I mean? But no, most people wouldn't call this love.
Yeah, but it is. It's a hard love.
It's a hard,
It's that
soft love.
it is, but that's the same kind of love you give as a parent to a child. Hard,
Yeah.
soft love.
Yeah.
Once again, this is why he made us parents, because he needed us to understand.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna love our kids. Sometimes we gotta love them hard, but we're being hard on them, but we're being hard on them because we love them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're disciplining them because we love them. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? We're telling them, no, you can't go here because we're protecting you, because we love you. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the same thing God does with us. But sometimes we don't understand it. Let me make you a parent and let you do the same thing with your kid that I be doing with you. And they
Mm.
let you go through some of the things where they fighting you, where they sneaking out, or they're defying you. When I'm telling you not to have a relationship, they have a relationship behind your back. See how it makes you feel, but also what are you learning here? So you understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
This is why he made us parents, because he needed us to understand and see. This is what I go through with you, with all my children.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
I created all of y'all. I created all of y'all, and y'all still act different. I said about my kids. Like I got 5 daughters, and they all came from the same womb. They all act different.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
come from the Creator. We all act different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the reality of it. But he has to learn how, and he learns how to deal with us and loves us individually and help us, you know what I'm saying, to be better for us, but for others. You know what I'm saying? He puts something in us, and that's just about parenting. You love your kids individually, but you love them all collectively too. You love them because they're your children, but you love them individually because they're all different individuals.
Mm-hmm.
So
Amen.
it's important.
And could you say that you love them differently? Not one more than the other, but each one needs your love in a different way.
Oh, absolutely. Every last one of my daughters need my love in a different way. But at the same time, they all need to love. One thing, they all need the love of their mother. You know what I mean? So I'm their mother, and I love them all for all different. I love all of them because they're all mine. They're all mine because they're a part of me. But I also love them for this individuality. I love you for your funniness. I love you for your boldness. I love you for this. It's all different reasons why I love them. But I wouldn't say, oh, because you're funny, I love you more than I love her. No, I love your goofiness. I love this about you, but I love you all equally. I have an equal love for each of you. I love every different characteristic about you. There's some things that I don't like, But you, I love. You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's the reality of the situation. And
Yeah.
it's like, I there was times where I didn't understand that. And it was just times where I'm just thinking, okay, you're all my daughters, y'all need to all act the same because that's just it. No, they can't. They're all different individuals. They're all
Right.
different people. They're not meant to be the same. They're not clones.
Right. Would you say that you didn't understand how to love them because you weren't shown love?
Well, I was actually, I didn't know how to love them fully or completely the proper way. But I did love them much different because I loved on my kids because I didn't get love.
Right.
So I was the opposite. When you have a lot of people sometimes when they pull away from their kids because they don't have that relationship, I gravitated to my kids because I wanted them to. I never wanted them to feel like I felt.
Right.
I never wanted them to know not what it felt like to be loved by a parent. I never wanted them to not know what it felt like to, for your parents to tell you that they love you or they was proud of you or they appreciated you or not really like, love on you and love you or listen to you, all those different types of things or just connect with you in any sort of way. I never wanted them to know that. So if anything, I worked hard toward that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I just feel like they deserve that. And I just feel like every child deserved to have that. Every person deserved that because, and so especially with something that I was lacking, I never wanted my daughters to know what that felt like. I never wanted them to go to that loneliness or know what it wanted or desired a mother hug that they didn't get.
Right.
So
Right. Right. Right.
it was
Right.
opposite for me. If anything, I overhug them. So like my kids are very affectionate. Me and my children are affectionate. I could talk to my one daughter. I could talk to any of my daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Every conversation on the phone. I don't care if I talk to you 4 times a day. After when before that conversation ends, I love you. I love you too. It never not ended that. That's always something that we always say, even if I'm mad at you. You get on my nerve, but girl, you know I love you. I love you too.
Yeah.
Like that's how it is. Like I don't care. Like I'll be frustrated with you, but I want you to know even in my frustrations, I love you.
I
You know what I
still
mean?
love
Because,
you.
yeah, that's it. I never want them to not know that. And I never want them to never forget that. And I want them to understand
Right.
that the love of sometimes the love that you're looking for is right in front of your face and you don't even realize it. And I'm gonna keep on telling you so you wake up and realize it.
That's right. That's
So
right.
that's what's so important. So that's we never not ended with that. I was just my grandson, he's 16, and I know it gets on his nerve. I don't care. Boy, I said I love you.
Sure, you better say that.
He's like, I love you too, me, mom. You better have it. I don't care. I don't
No matter
care.
who you're around too. Yeah.
You better say it while I'm still here. And
That's
while you
right.
still have an opportunity to tell me and I get to hear it, you need to say it because it's important. It's very important to let people know and really genuinely don't just say it to say it. When we say it, we all mean it. It ain't just like it's not a routine for us. Like I mean that thing. I love you. Like I want you to know that. If this is my last day, my last breath, my kids can know, mommy, I know mommy loved us.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's very important because to have that lack of it and not know if somebody really does love you and you don't know if a parent really loves you. You know what I mean? And people just automatically assume because, oh, you're a parent, you're supposed to love me. Not if I don't know how.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I ask those questions because there's times where we just don't know how. Like you said, oh, I wish I would have gone, I wish I could go back and do this with my daughters. So I feel like I'm doing a do-over. Once you learned, you did better. You know what I mean? Now you're
Absolutely.
able to help other people, but at the same time, I do still believe that you're helping your daughters. I tell you this all the time because by them seeing you grow, they saw you who you were in that video, that woman in the video,
Yeah.
and they see who you are now. They see that growth. They know that it's possible.
Absolutely.
That's
exactly what they need.
They know that it's possible.
They need to know that it's possible. And I want them to see that every things that are broken can be healed. That you can be happy. If anything, when I leave here, you know what I mean? And I want to make sure I want to leave here before my daughters, but I want them to have the remembrance of who I am now and how I've grown and not what I used to be. No, I don't want them to remember that. I don't want them to be that memory of me. I want them to have the memory of the woman I am now, what God has done, how He's healed, how that they see the light, you know what I mean? That they see a peace, they see a calmness, they see a happiness, they see a joy, they see my prayer life, my worship, like all those different things. Those are the things I want them to remember. Those are the things that I want them to keep embedded in their heart, because those are the things that will keep them thriving for better and to be better, in their relationship with God and for themselves and for their healing. Not that person that was broken, not that person, anything. Or all I want them to remember from that is that God took me from there to here.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I want them to remember, or remember the fun times we had in that particular time. So it's definitely different. It's definitely different. Cause sometimes like I talk to my daughters and they'll be like, well, Mom, you only could do what you did because that's what you knew how to do.
Right.
It was like, and my daughter said, I didn't understand it when I was a kid, Mom, but I understand it now.
Right.
And she goes, and I see it now, so they recognize it now and they see it. And then sometimes there's some things about my life that my kids still didn't know. So sometimes when I'm sharing my story, like, with other women, or I'm doing a testimony, or sometimes even with God, I'm preaching and I'm sharing a story. That sometimes people don't even realize that my kids are hearing it for the first time too.
It's the first time
So
they've
it's
heard.
like when they hear certain stuff in my story, they're like, Mom, why that really happened to you? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And they be like, and they be like, wow, I didn't know that. You know what I mean? Because there was some things that you weren't supposed to know. But now that you get to see
Couldn't handle it.
in my life, I can handle it. But you also get to see, you hear that story, but you hear the woman that I am now. You see what I learned from that situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I have my own traumas and they didn't know about all my traumas. So sometimes they're hearing it for the first time with everybody else in the room. And it's just like, they just be like, so it's, and it makes me cry sometimes. Like I get teary eyed when I talk about certain things. And I just be like, oh my God. Like, and I don't cry because I'm sad. I'm crying because I'm thankful.
Yes.
I cry because, ooh, man, nobody but God. You know what I mean? If I didn't have God, I wouldn't have got through that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's so important. It's so important to really allow yourself to heal. It's so important not just to work on your physical health, but your mental health, your spiritual health. It's very important to be spiritually healthy. It's very important to let God really do what He wants to do. He's not trying to hurt us. He's trying to heal us. He's trying to, He just wants to love on us to make us a better people for other people. He wants to make you he wants me to be a better me for you.
Exactly.
He wants you to be a better you for me. And,
exactly.
And that's the important, that's what it's about. Like you can't say you're a people person if you really don't care about the people. People like, oh, I'm a people person. What makes you a people person? Do you genuinely care about the matter of others,
well-being of them,
like their well-being, their mindset, or you just do stuff because you want people to think, oh, she's such a good, but you do it in front of people all the time. You know what I mean? Whenever you do something for people or you're acting about the people, you need an audience for it to be known, because you need people to know that you did it. Or are you really doing it for the people and ain't nobody there but you and that person, or you God and that person? Ain't nobody else gonna hear that story but y'all.
Ever. That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So
I do.
You really gotta understand what it comes about, like truly being a people person. It's not meant for everybody to see sometimes.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Some things are just, it's personal. It's just sometimes it's just got to be God doing something, and no other audience is required.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
So that was very important. It's like so that's why I say, we gotta purge, and I'm so thankful for the retreat, so we can do that, and we can keep our minds right. And when we have that, like just that whole mindset that you do for the leaders is so important. I'm so thankful that God is giving it to you, and not only that God gave it to you, but you were obedient, and you made the vision manifest.
Yeah, well, you know what, the last retreat that I had, when you were there, and believe it was just you and I talking, and we were discussing visions that God gave us. And when you started talking and He reminded me of the vision He gave me so many years ago, and I was standing in it, it was amazing to me. You know what I mean? I was like, wow, God, I thought that vision that you gave me that many, many years ago was something totally different, and actually standing in it, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And that really just opened it, really, really opened it up more for me, um, and allowed me to see just who I'm there for. Like I always knew it. You know, when I came to Remit, I always said, I'm here for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for y'all inside of here. I'm here to encourage y'all. I'm here
Always
to
said
tell
that.
y'all to lift your
Always.
heart. Yeah, I'm here for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Because y'all were there for the people coming in, but God sent me there for y'all,
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah.
the leaders. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
And not all leaders gravitated because not all leaders were ready. But I knew. My spirit, I was Elizabeth, it was Elizabeth and Mary moment, boy. But let me tell you, look at here. My baby started
you
leaving
know
the
what it
dance
is?
on the inside because the Holy Spirit,
Right.
like, yes.
Yeah, yeah. It's just because the package, the way God packaged me, I know it's too much for some people, you know what I mean? And it's hard for people to I'm a strong cup of coffee, like I say. It's hard for people to swallow what God has given me because I'm strong in it. You know what I mean? I don't say that to be cocky. I say that because, and I know people are like, oh yeah, we know, but because of what I've been through in my life, I have no other choice but to stand firm in who God made me.
Very true. Very, very true. I know that's right. It's and that's what's so great about it. You know what I mean? And that's what's so great about it. Like the whole thing, your testimony, your character, you know, your tone, you know, everything about it, the way God packaged you, you know what I mean? It's a blessing because it was the package that I needed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because it was just like I got tired of seeing the same packages. Every time I
right.
opened it, it was on wrap, it was the same thing. And I'm just
Mhm.
like, no, this ain't it,
Right.
God, this ain't it, or there's something different. And then when you know, when connected, I'm just like, yes, because it was like when sometimes you're like, God, no, you know this is not what I need, or you know this ain't it, and or God be like, this ain't it, you know, I'm not
Yeah.
done. You just wait. And then but you start saying things to God and you tell him and he knows, and then he'll send
Mhm.
it. He'll send right who you need, and spiritually it lines up in such a way. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Spiritually, it connects in such a way, and it's such a growth and a balance. But it was a realness, it was a genuineness. It's those things, and for me, that's important. That's
Yeah.
important in people. But I got to see the God in you, and
Yeah.
by seeing the God in you, I'm like that was important to me. It was always genuine. It was
Right.
never phony. It was never like theatrical. It was
Mhm.
never over the top. It was
Right.
never underdone. It
Right.
wasn't rude. It wasn't nasty. It wasn't judgmental. It was just a genuine God.
Yeah.
And that's so important because a lot of people have they'll have God, but he's disguised, or they say they have God and it's disguised with all this other stuff. And I'm like,
And I've been noticing in that a lot as well too. God has really been showing me that, like, in different seasons, you're able to see different things. In this season, I'm just like, oh, that was a huge disguise. You use God as a disguise when that's not really who you were worshiping. That's not really what you were spending or who you were spending your time with.
yeah, yeah,
Used it,
very, very
use
true.
it under the guise of God, and that wasn't the best. I'm not perfect, you know what I mean? By no means am I perfect, but I'm not new to this. I'm true to this, as my sister likes to say. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. This
That's
is who
right.
I am.
Yes.
And I was, I'm sent into certain places, whether it's the church or whether it's a business or whatever it is. I'm like not quality control, but policy and procedure, quality control. I'm here to help you. I'm here to give you the tools you need to make you better, the best you. And at the same time, it helps me.
Yeah.
It
Very
helps me.
true.
I'm really doing it because God is telling me to do it. It ain't something I want to, you know what I mean? Like, do I want to not be liked? No. Who wants to not be liked? You understand? But
Yeah.
I know what God has me. I know what has commissioned of me to do. So that is what I have to do. I have
That's
no other choice.
That's it. And that's all it's about at the end of the day. And I realize and I've learned in life, people gonna like you, people not gonna like you. But at the end of the day, you got to still do what God has called you to do. You know what I mean? And you got to do it the way God has called you to do it. That's just it. It's
That part.
necessary. It's necessary because the point of the matter, there's people waiting for people that look like you, that talk like you, that deliver it like you, that give it, that live and walk and do everything like you, because they need in their life. And that's why it's not all meant to look the same. It looks different. You have some that come dressed to the nine. You have some that come dressed in they Timbs and they jeans and they tees. You know what I'm saying? You got some that come and they got their Jordans on. They got, whatever the case, and they come through, they got a sweatsuit on. However it is, you got some people that's coming like, I listen, I got my little flared out pants. However God sends you, you can be in your basketball shorts. But however he designed you to be and how he wants you to be and how he wants you to do this thing and look, that's what it's for, because it's for those particular people.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, if you got to come sometimes, you got to be, if you got a good sense of humor, there's some people like, okay, I need that, because I'm tired of all these serious Christians who ain't got a funny bone in them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's like you want that, or you want this. So it's just like, God, I'm packaged you the way I packaged you, and I need you to deliver it the way I ordained it to be, because it's a set of people waiting for this delivery. They're waiting for you're the delivery. You know what I'm saying? You're the package that needs to be delivered to this particular place, and that's just it. So.
And I need you to have peace in that.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
I need you to be peaceful in that, and who I made you.
That's it. That's
and
it.
who I made.
It is what it is, God. Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, the way God packaged you is it's beautiful. You say, oh, I learned how to hide in plain sight. Girl, there's nothing about you is able to be hidden.
I know, that's why he made 6 foot tall. Ain't he something? He knew if I was small and little, I'd be hiding behind people, ducking behind furniture.
And it's not even that, it's the inner glow that comes out. You know what I mean? That what's on the inside is pure. What's on the inside is humble. What's on the inside is exactly what it's malleable ground. You know what I mean? God can just really come in and just mold it and shape it and make it so that it blossoms, and it's created just for exactly who it's created for. And it's a beautiful thing. And that's what I try to get. I not try to get, listen, you either want it or not, but that's what I try to help people understand, is who you were created to be does not look like anybody else.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
And just because somebody else, and we've said it before, just because somebody else is shining at that moment or doing whatever at that moment that maybe you wish you were doing, you still got to be able to congratulate, because your time is coming.
Yeah, celebrate other people's victory. Very important. Very, very important. It's very true. And just recognize all the time ain't your time.
It ain't your, listen, and if you think all the time is your time, then you're very selfish.
You tripping.
You tripping. And you're gonna have a hard fall.
Yeah, that's it. That's very, very true. Because sometimes you got to go through the wilderness experiences. Sometimes you're going to be in the valley. Sometimes you're going to be, it might be a little bit of a struggle. Sometimes it might be just that. But it for me, I can't talk about nobody else. I can talk about me. For me, being in those places has truly, like you said, it's made me such a humble person. It makes me appreciate and respect so much. Like people don't understand. For me, one of the biggest and most one that I value a lot, and it may not mean nothing to somebody, to other people. I appreciate, and I tell God, when I say God, I mean, like, thank you, Lord. I mean what I say. It's a hot shower every day.
Girl, who you telling?
Girl,
ain't it beautiful?
It's a beautiful thing. When I can take a hot shower as scalding hot as I want.
And I was about to say that I like it hot, like
Yes,
Burma.
yes.
Hot.
Yes, and especially when my body hurting and I take me a night, or I'm just like, oh Lord, but I appreciate that. And I'm so thankful that I can have that. So I'm so thankful and humble for those little things, because these people don't have that. They don't have hot water. They don't have clean running water. They miss out on those things. They don't know what that even feels like. But the fact that I am privileged to that on a daily basis means a great
Daily
deal
basis.
to me. And that's the same how, and that's how I feel. That's how I appreciate God. I'm privileged to Him on a daily
Yes.
basis. On a daily
Yes.
basis. How can I not be thankful for that? How can I not be grateful for that? How can I not appreciate that? Because there's some people who are not privileged to Him. There's
Listen,
some people who
listen.
are not allowed to know Him. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That and I'm allowed. I'm privileged to that. I'm thankful for that privilege. I don't take it lightly. I don't take it for granted. I am thankful. People don't
Yes.
understand. I'm like, man, y'all better appreciate.
Well, that's because we don't see those commercials on TV anymore because we got Netflix and Hulu and they don't really show it. But I listen to Star 99.1 and they're doing a fundraiser right now for people in Lebanon and how they just experienced the worst like snowstorm since 1982. And he's describing the things that this money that people would be, the charity that people would be giving, what it's going for. And he's like, yeah, well, we get rugs and mats for the thing. And he goes, I don't want you to think carpet like we have in our homes. I'm literally talking about just a mat so that they're not laying on the bare ground and they don't have furniture. They're on pillows and their pillows are their couches and their pillows are their beds. And he's like, and we're buying, 2x4s and all that other stuff because their roofs are caving in and they have tarps on their roofs. Like these people don't have, you know what I mean? What we have. And even talking with my daughter, she's like, oh, I couldn't go a day without my phone. I said, yeah, for first world problems. I said, but there's countries that don't even have internet.
Yeah.
There's places in the world that kids don't even know what an internet is. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, but how privileged we are. And because we don't see that anymore, we don't see, the Make-A-Wish Foundation commercials and the swollen bellies and all that other stuff. We don't see that anymore. So it's easy for us to forget just how blessed we are.
Yeah. I'm telling you, hot water reminds me every day.
Listen,
how blessed I really am. And it means a great deal to me. It really, really does. And I'm just like, so I don't take it for granted. I don't take nothing for granted. Like those things, like, and the fact of the matter that I'm able to walk on my 2 feet.
That's right.
There's people who don't have that, who can't walk, don't know what it is to walk, and I talk about the fact that, I have 5 daughters and, I had them young and everything like that. But there's people, and I love them. And we went through some ups and downs, some trials and tribulations. But who doesn't? But the fact of the matter that I know what it feels like to be a mom. There's some people who can't, who have this opportunity. That's a privilege. And my thing is, when God blesses you with something, He gives you a privilege of something, and He gives you something. Cherish that thing. Do right by it. Don't disrespect it. Don't bring harm to it. Don't be wrongful with it. We got to respect and cherish the things that God allows us to have and partake of, because everybody doesn't get that opportunity. You should never be selfish or think that, oh, I'm supposed to be privileged to something. You ain't supposed to be privileged to nothing.
That's right.
The fact that He allows it to allow it to be so in your life and for your life, because my thing is, I could have been born in a different type of country that never knew what that was like to have hot water. I could have been born where it was a place where I had to hide that I worshiped Him, or I got killed because I worshiped Him and served Him and I spoke the name of Jesus, but I'm in a place where I can do that freely. So, while I have it in me, I'm going to do it. And then not only am I going to do it, I'm going to serve Him. I'm going to serve Him by being obedient, but I'm also going to make sure that my mindset and my health is right so I can be a better servant for Him and the people. Right. So it's like, you got to appreciate that. You know what I mean? You got to really appreciate what you have and what He's done for you. And that's why I said I could talk about that video. I appreciate this place I'm at now. I'm thankful for that. You know what I'm saying? So He could have had us be some whole different place and we wouldn't know what none of this was.
Ma'am, you're telling the truth. You're telling the truth. You're telling the truth, and the appreciation is real.
Yeah, it really, really is. It really, really is. So you gotta really see this thing while you have an opportunity to get healed or to get delivered or to have your mind freed up, to get to a place of alert, like take the opportunity for yourself, to be a better person, what I'm saying? To be healed from your traumas and your pains and the things that you even try. Don't go back to those things. Like, you know what I mean? That's why it's so important that we can purge and we can heal and we can be restored and we can renew. But it's important for your own self-healing. It's important for you to be a better person. But like I said, it's important because it also makes you appreciate. You don't focus on what you don't have.
Mm-hmm.
That's no longer your focus.
Mm-hmm.
You're thankful for what you do have, and you just like, you know what, God, I may not have all I want, but I have all I need.
Yes.
You really do
He
have a humble
supplies
heart.
all your needs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
The pandemic taught a lot of people that there's a lot of people in the pandemic who was, who I heard their stories, and I'm like, wow. No, and I was wild. I was like blown away because I was hurt for them, and I felt bad for them. And I tried to help in any way I really could. But my thing is, God kept me.
Yeah.
God took care of that for me. You know what I mean? He really, really supplied my needs, and I didn't work, and he made sure there was still a roof over my head. And my thing is, and I'm not saying like the assistance wasn't there and it's not appreciated for those who needed it, but I didn't need any. Only you know what I mean? Like God really took care of me. He really covered me in that particular year. But and him covering me and he continued to take care of me because I kept digging in. I kept going deeper. I kept wanting more and more and more, but I wanted it for myself. But as I wanted it for myself, I didn't want it for me anymore. I wanted everybody else to have. It's like I want everybody to have hot water. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want everybody to have that hot running water, that hot flowy spring. Like I want everybody to have that. It became a desire for others. It became a desire for others. So it's so important to not take for granted who you are, to be thankful that he does give us beauty for ashes. It's very important to know that, he can bring you to another place. He can bring you out. He can use you. It's very important to answer the call when he calls you.
Yeah.
Because it's for somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, when you thought about it, you were standing in the vision. You were standing in it. But when he first gave it to you, you ain't believe that.
Nope.
You ain't believe that. You ain't want that. You couldn't see that. You ain't want, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? But when it finally happened and to see it, you just be like, okay, God, you brought me here because I finally got to a place of obedience and lining up with you. And then you recognize and realize this wasn't about me.
Yeah.
It's about people who need what you have to offer. But at the same time, it is about you in a way, but more so about the people. But because in the end, when you giving the people what they need, you get what you need.
Of course. That's the beauty of it.
So beautiful of it.
That's that full cycle. Yeah, that full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I live for. I live to do what God is asking me to do to help people be better and be the best them they can be.
Yeah.
Because I know in return it's going to edify me. It's going to inspire me. It's going to uplift me. It's going to bring me out of whatever situation I'm dealing with. And I love it. I love it. I love to inspire. I love to serve. I love when I see people get that light bulb moment. You know what I mean? When they just get it, and I'm just like, yes, they connected. They dug in. Yes. And whether I'm there to continue to push them forward, or I was just there, like I told one person, I said, I am literally on your path just to push you forward. That's it. Not to go with you, just to push you forward.
To apply the right pressure.
Yeah, I'm your pusher.
Yeah, the right pressure, because some people apply the wrong pressure. So you just there to apply the right pressure.
That's it. That's right, to push you forward and to see you fly. And I'm happy.
Yeah.
But you got to know when to get off that ride. You got to know when to I told you, when to let it go.
Yeah.
You got to know, because just because you have ties doesn't mean that you're all the time you're supposed to keep going with them. Some people have to come off.
Very true. Very, very true.
They have to. It's not a bad thing.
No. Or to do it in a different way.
Yeah, the relationship.
Okay, what I used to do with you before is like, no, I can't do that no more, but I can do this.
That's right.
I can be there for this, but I can do A, but I can't do A, B, C, D, and E.
That's
I
right.
can,
No
and
more.
all I, you know what I'm saying? And I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And if you can't accept, hey, that's fine.
that's right.
God will just send me where it is, but I'm not supposed to do all of these things. I'm just here for this particular thing. And
Yeah.
when you can admit that and openly say that to people, they either gonna say, okay, or they're gonna be like, nope, that's not what God's telling me. Yeah, don't and it's not, no, that's what it is. Don't try to force me or to talk me into something. I'm telling you, this is what I can give you. This
That's
is
right.
this is all this is what I'm supposed to give you in this particular time. And my thing is sometimes people might see a bigger picture, but that bigger picture is not necessarily for them.
That's right.
But they get so caught up in what they see, they think, oh, this is always supposed to all work together. No, no, no,
Mm.
no, no, no.
Mm.
No, and it's okay. So it's we have to know how to give the people what they need, but we also got to know what we got to get what we need also.
Say it.
We got to get what we need in order to continue to give the people what they need. If you don't
Mm.
get what you need, you can't get the people what they need. And
Right.
that's what's important. And we can't overdo it because people are looking at you like, well, oh, well, you can't worry about, well, what they gonna say if I say no? I said no. Doesn't matter what the people say, it's what God said. You know what I mean? I said no. That's it. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's all to it. That's it. I'm not in this, you got to get past the point of always trying to make the people, well, you got to make the people happy, got to make the people happy. Well, I'm making the people, sometimes God want to ruffle some feathers. No.
Right. Right. You can't make everybody happy all the time.
That's it. That's it. And my thing is, and you people know when it's really a God, they know. They don't fight. They be like, well, okay, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what's gonna be. Then you
Right.
got the other people like, well, see, this
Right.
is what I'm talking about.
Right.
you maybe you need to go back and talk to God a little bit more and make sure that well, maybe no, maybe you need to
You
go back.
you
I'm
need
all
to
right
think.
over here. You got the problem with it. I don't. So clearly, it ain't me. It's you.
That's what I say. Listen, I always say it's me. It's me. Even when situations are happening in my household, I say maybe it's me, God. Okay, it's me. I need to go away. It's time for me to. It's me. It's me. Y'all not listening up in here. I got to get away. Maybe
Yes.
I'm wrong. It's
Or
me.
maybe I'm not vocalizing myself the way
Right?
I need to.
I need to, I need to get away so I can regroup and refresh and we can start all over
That's
again.
right.
And
And then
they
when you
all
come back,
look at
I'm
me
coming
like,
back with God's wisdom and his voice.
"Yeah,
Watch
watch,
out now when I come back. I'm not coming
watch."
back just by myself. I'm coming back with God's wisdom and his voice. Y'all ready
Yes.
for that?
Yes, and a double dose of anointing that you ain't gonna know what to do with. So maybe
Exactly.
God send me away.
That's
Like
it. That's it. And
yeah,
that's it. And then when he gives you those forums, you can come back refreshed and renewed, but you can come back when you can open your mouth. You know what I mean? That's that. I know one of my things for me. I really have this,
mhm,
and I know you can't tell because it's like I said, this right here has never been work.
right,
But it's
right.
other times where I see things and I get agitated, or I'm like I don't come in agreement with certain things, or certain things bother me. I don't say nothing. I just do this. I don't say- And then I get frustrated
I'm gonna be
because
quiet because I was about to say I've noticed that in you.
I get frustrated
Yeah.
because I'm not saying nothing, and I start making faces. I'm like, what? And I'm frustrated, but I'm just at the same time like, should I open my mouth? Should I not open my mouth? Should I?
Right,
And
because
I
you
know I
don't
really
know.
should, but I
Yeah.
don't. So I just sit back and I just be like this, and I just don't. I
Mm.
just
Mm. That's a whole group dynamic thing. That's a whole nother. I posted something on Facebook, church leaders about it, why your introverted leader is not speaking. It's a whole dynamic. Listen, sis, I'm telling you, when I tell you I thrive off of dynamics and really observing people and seeing why this person's not talking or why this person's talking too much or all this other stuff. Like I thrive on that. And when I see that, I'm just like, but if you just listened, they would talk. You know what I mean? Or if this conversation was actually going to go somewhere, they would have something to say. You don't need to pull it out of them. That's why a lot of meetings in-person meetings needed to be like emails. You know what I mean? Because it just wasn't necessary for you to do all of that.
Yeah. And that's why a lot of times I just you see me out.
I know. Listen, I
But
pay
my thing
attention.
is, words are valuable to me. So the fact of
Yes.
the matter that when I speak words and you don't value the words that I speak, or
Yep.
you devalue my words, or you don't even you don't take time to listen to anything I have to say, then I don't have nothing to say.
Right.
You don't value my words, so I'm gonna keep my mouth quiet. So I just be
Right.
quiet. And then I speak when you want me to. Like you
Right.
okay, so you want to so you I'll be sitting there, oh they be like, well, I'm like, oh, you want to talk now?
Right.
So, you want to say something now? And then I'll
Right. Oh, I
say
can
something.
go. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't say the fullness of what I need to say. I say I say what I think you want to hear.
You want me to say?
That's
I know.
exactly what I do. And that's what I do. And I just sit there. And then people get frustrated with me because I do that. But I'm
Right.
frustrated because you wasn't listening to me. But you want me to listen to everything you say. You want to take in everything you say. You want me to do everything you say. But then when I speak and vocalize it, sometimes I got to be careful because I knew when I started noticing when I started doing that and I would get frustrated, I used to talk out of frustration.
Right. You don't want to do
And,
that.
and so my delivery would come out real strong.
I get that. I do that sometimes too. It's okay. It
And I'm
happens.
like, oh, let me run that back here because
Right. I shouldn't have said all of that. Yeah.
let me fix that. And so it's like that's one of the things that I've really been asking God to help me with. So like, all right, Lord, and let me speak, but when I speak, let them hear me. Let
There
them
you
not
go.
only hear me, but let them respect me. Let them give to me what I give to them.
There you go.
Because it's very, like I said, words to me are very important.
Oh yes, they're valuable. And I don't waste my time with my words.
And I've
Yeah, I
always
don't.
been a big person on words. I've been a big person on words since I was a kid. Like vocabulary used to be my thing. I loved it. Like vocabulary, I still like that. I don't like nothing misspelled. My kids be like, and they be like, Mom, or they be speaking. I be like, and they be like, oh, we not at school. Stop correcting me. I'm like, no,
You
you
better
better use
say the
that
word.
word. You better say that word right because that is not a word. That's not. Don't do that. My kids like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Their whole life. Like words are very important. Like I'm like, what did you just say?
Right. That ain't right. Yep. Oh, I know. I know.
So
I know.
so I really would get to a place of shutdown,
Mm.
and now it's just like, okay, God, Lord, let me use my voice when it's necessary. Let me not be afraid to speak. Let me be honest. Let me not be intimidated. Let me not be frustrated. But let me speak my words. But as I speak the words that you give me to speak, let them hear the voice that the words that are being spoken. So that's
Yes.
what it is now. And my thing is, and it's not like I'm offended by it. It's more so the fact of the matter is like, I'm not gonna talk. You ain't gonna listen, so
Yes.
it's gonna be talking.
Not worth it.
And you know what? You know what? My thing that gets me, and when I don't talk, it affects people so much more.
It does.
They get mad at me. Why you not talking? I ain't gonna understand.
Right. It does. It does.
You know what I mean? And they'll be like, well, what do you think? It's
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah. But in this season, we're gonna talk. In this season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I learned that like when we talk and we have the retreats and I it helps me to grow better in that particular manner. Like, okay, let's because like you said, because you can read it and you can see it, you can identify it and then you can address it. So when
Yeah.
you address it, you'll be like, yeah, that's me over here.
It's healthy.
Why she stop talking?
Yeah.
Let me, and then you see why, and then sometimes you'll speak the truth, and I'll be like, yeah, that's it. You come into agreement with it because you know it's the truth, but sometimes to hear somebody else say it, you can't help but do it.
All right, my sister. You
But
got any final words to take us out, or are you good?
no, overall, I think we said everything. It's just, we got to make sure that in order for us to do a work for the people, we have to make sure that we are healthy for the people. We are physically healthy. We are spiritually healthy. We can't be a freedom fighter if we're not in shape.
Amen.
So we gotta be in shape, get in shape, stay in shape, and that's
Yeah.
the most important part. And then we gotta do those still ways. We gotta listen to the small voice in the chaos, and we gotta really take the time to spend time with God, even in our sleep, even in our resting. He's refreshing us. So whatever tools that we got to use to stay in that place to be refreshed and to allow him to keep us awakened and focused, then let's take those steps and utilize the tools that we're given and utilize the forums that he gives us and the openers that he gives us, so we can be always in a place of being refreshed for who those who needs it as well.
You've been listening to Fridays with Ty on Shift the Narrative podcast. Listen, I pray one day you'll see the need to shift the narrative in your mind, not for anyone else, but for yourself, because you are worth it. I am thankful and grateful for each and every one of you that has joined us today and every day. As always, I'm your host and fellow freedom fighter, Tyria. We will see you again, and thanks for listening to Fridays with Ty on Shift the Narrative podcast. Be free, y'all. Be free.